Welcome to the video, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So it has been 2 years since I started selling on Amazon FBA UK, and what an incredible journey it has been. I couldn't have even imagined what was going to happen, how turbulent those 2 years of my life were going to be. But I want to share it with you guys, and we're going to go on a whistle-stop tour through my life over the last 2 years since launching my first product on Amazon, walking you through the highs, the lows, what was good, what was bad, and where am I now? What have I been able to achieve? I hope it is some sort of source of inspiration for you guys. I know that I followed a lot of people when I got started, so hit that like button, comment below if you like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Welcome to the video, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So we're going to jump straight into this one. It is what it says on the tin. My Amazon FBA journey 2 years on. For anyone who's new to the channel, my name is Dylan Reed. I'm an Amazon FBA UK seller, solely private label, and I started selling, you can probably tell from the slide here, 2 years ago, almost to the day. So I wanted to put a video out to share with you guys my experience, right? What has happened to me over the last 2 years? How has my business grown over the last 2 years? And just share my experience of Amazon FBA with you, my honest experience, the highs and the lows, the good things, the bad things. And I can just give you a bit of an insight into what it is like when you start to sell on Amazon, right? What avenues and what paths can it lead you down? What doors can it open in your life? So firstly, thank you to all my, my OGs, the original gangsters, my, first subscribers. We're over 3,000 subs now on the channel, and I appreciate you all. So thank you so much for watching and, liking and commenting, etc. I do really, really appreciate it. And for anyone who's new to the channel, welcome to the channel. So I got into Amazon FBA 2 years ago, right? The reason that I got into Amazon FBA was because I was fairly unhappy in my job. I didn't despise it. I wasn't someone who was like absolutely desperate to get out of the 9-to-5 grind. I enjoyed my job, but I was looking for an alternative means of generating income online. So I looked at lots of different things, and to cut a long story short, Amazon FBA was the business model that I chose. So if you're not familiar with Amazon FBA, I would suggest go and have a look at some of my other videos where I walk you through, how to start selling on Amazon. But just quickly, for anyone who is new to the channel and who doesn't know about me, I was a teacher prior to selling on Amazon. So I taught in schools for a few years, and then following that, I did private tutoring where I taught maths, English, and digital literacy to adults. So yeah, that was my job. This isn't me. This guy isn't me. I don't look that cool. But you can see here, we've got my certificate from Bangor University, the Gogs, land of the Gogs, which was actually a great time. But yeah, so that was what I did before selling on Amazon. I had not had any online experience selling. I hadn't actually even sold on eBay, I don't believe. I hadn't done anything at all. So I was not sort of, trained and upskilled in that sort of realm and ready to get started. I was like a blank canvas. I was just open to learning. So that's what I was up to before I started selling 2 years ago. And before that, I'd done a degree, obviously, and been traveling around Asia and Australia and did a ski season, few different crazy things, which were great memories for myself. So that is what I was doing prior to selling on Amazon. And my goal in this video is not to blab. So you honestly, if I blab, just comment below BLAB and I'll get the message. So my first product launched in January 2017. The company was actually set up in 2016, towards the end of 2016, but I launched my first product in January. I remember I was actually on a skiing holiday in Maribel with family and friends, and I remember my product went live when I was out there, and I'd lined up a load of sales. So I had an influx of sales at the beginning, and I remember sort of looking at my app, my Amazon app from being in the French Alps and thinking, wow, this is incredible. And that was very early on when I didn't really have any idea of what was actually in store for me, what was going to happen over the next 2 years. I had no idea, and I'll share that with you. And throughout this sort of presentation, I'll share that all with you. So My first product was a single product. I didn't launch 10, I didn't launch 5, I launched one single product. Now, it was a soft launch, and what I mean by that is I didn't use any Facebook ads. I did not use any launch software. It was just very basic. I was inexperienced. I'll be the first to admit I was very inexperienced at the time. I did not do the proper research. I did not have the proper training. I kind of just winged it, and I do tend to wing things. And I just went for it, right? Now, some would argue that was careless or reckless even, but it got me started. So I look back at it as an experience, and I've obviously learned a tremendous amount since that point. So my first product initially failed, and I almost gave up on Amazon FBA. So my first product, when I launched, I remember I told you I had that influx at the beginning. It just kind of didn't sell that well. I was selling maybe 1 unit a day, if that. In all honesty, it was probably more like 1 every 2 days. And my main goal over the first month was trying to identify why. Now, this is where I really started to upskill myself. I had, a lot of advice and coaching and a consultancy to trying to sort of dissect what had gone wrong, what was wrong with this product, because I believe I'd done, a lot of things correctly, but there was something fundamentally wrong. So it was a culmination of lots of different things, but the price was an extremely important factor for my product. And I hadn't done the proper research into the price. And it meant that my first product did initially fail. So that first product, someone who's selling 1 unit every 2 days, unless you're selling sort of, I don't know, for like £500 a unit, you're not going to really be making any significant amount of money. So I had to go back to the drawing board at this point. I was aware of the potential. I knew I had to get this right. I wasn't willing to give up at that stage, right? I really wanted to make it work. I knew it was working for other people. So we made some changes, right? And those changes that I made were specifically price, imagery, a lot of changes to the keywords, and just some fundamental changes to the back end of my listing. Now, what that resulted in was a relaunch in April. And when I say a relaunch, I didn't sort of create a new listing and relaunch it. I just switched off PPC, amended everything, and off we went again. Now, that product then, in April 2017, consistently was making me £2,500 in revenue. Now, that kind of blew my mind at that point. The profit margins for my products are high, between 40 and 50%. Let's call it 40 just for argument's sake. So in my head now, that's £1,000 profit. So, at this point in April, I was working a full-time job, doing my teaching at the time, and I was earning about £1,000 a month profit from this single product. Now, for any of you guys who are new to Amazon FBA, in short, we bring a product in from China, we put our own logo and our own brand name on it, we sell it on Amazon UK. Now, even better, Amazon has fulfillment services whereby they store the products that you are selling, they pick the products when an order is placed, they ship the products and deliver the products to the customer, making it very passive once you are up and running. Granted, there's work to get to that point. Obviously, before, to lead up to this point in April, I had to put tons of work in to make sure that I got, that the product to be successful in the end. So a lot of groundwork and foundation work, but it is very passive when you're selling, and everyone who sells will vouch, for that. So at this point, I was thinking, wow, how am I actually able to make £1,000 a month pretty much completely passively whilst working a full-time job as a teacher? And it kind of blew my mind a bit. And I thought to myself at the time, you need to capitalize on this opportunity. You need to scale the business. Now, if we look at the second point there, it did inspire me a lot, and it reinforced the potential of the business model. It's natural to be skeptical of different business models. You see lots of people doing well online. You don't really know who to believe and who not to believe, and you don't know what business models will, essentially be a success for you, or if they are even viable from the offset. But Amazon FBA was, and it kind of gave me that, motivation and that boost to think, right, okay, if one product is generating £1,000 a month profit, what if I had 10 products? And that was what kind of spurred me on at that stage, right? I was working at the time, I was on about £1,200 a month, which was not enough, in all honesty. Living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't want to continue doing that and working my ass off forever. So this was like, sort of like a golden opportunity for me when I, thought to myself, what if you were to scale this business and launch 10 products over the next, for example, year? And we're going to see if I did that or not. So that's what got me going. It really, really sort of inspired me, and the business model took off from that point. So in May, it was the end of May 2017, I launched 3 more products all at once. So on top of the first one, we launched 3 more in May. Now, I had some savings that I put into this. My first product cost me about 1,300 to 1,500. Again, I made a mistake. I didn't order enough units. Lots of problems with the first product. Many people, especially if they don't have the correct training, they will make errors, and it's sort of baptism of fire. You will learn as you go along. But I'd learned a lot more after the first, and I launched 3 more. I had confidence in the business model, and off we went. And we fired 3 more products out, and they all were generating between £1,500 and £3,000. And I went back and had a look in my Seller Central today to make sure of that. So my margins, again, lie between 40 and 50. We're going to say 40 for this example. So if we look at an in-between range of 1,500 to 3,000, that's about £2,200 in revenue at 40%. It's roughly £1,000, a little bit less. So at this point, I had 4 products that were generating a K each. So I was like, holy hell, this is crazy. I don't think I've ever said holy hell before. This is crazy. I am generating £4,000 a month on Amazon. It's middle of May. I'm still working full time, just kind of pinching myself thinking, what is actually happening to me? And, this is the sort of point where I thought, I want to document this journey. I want to create an Instagram account, a YouTube channel, and firstly document the journey, to share my experiences with you guys, which is sort of what I'm summarizing now, but also to provide you all with as much info as I can. And you'll see that from my channel, lots of information, all Amazon FBA related, to help you all not make the same mistakes that I did, and to also maximize your chances of succeeding. So yeah, this is where it kind of all started for me. And when the 3 products launched and it started to turn over these figures, it really opened my eyes to the where this could take me in my life. So we'll shoot forward, and around this point, my Instagram account was created. So if we look here, a few months later, this is September 2017. Sorry, October 2017. This is a post on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, shameless plug, go and check out my Instagram account, where I posted. Now, I went out of stock from those 3 products that I just told you about, or 4, sorry, and I relaunched back in September. So you can see, literally, right, in the space of like 15 days, did nearly £10,000 in turnover, like all whilst working full time, 50, 60-hour weeks, grinding away, marking, planning, paperwork, all of this boring stuff. And this was going on in the background, right? I was checking it from my phone. It's all documented on Instagram. So I wanted to share it all with you guys. And I want to show you my first video now, right? It's quite a funny video. It's a little bit, I must admit, a little bit cringy, this video, because I look at myself, I'm extremely serious in this video. But it's one of my, I think it is actually the first video I put up ever on anything. So we're going to have a look at that anyway, and show you guys what I was actually talking about. So let's have a look at this. Have I aged a lot? Hopefully not. Hopefully I'm still looking youthful. So let's have a look.
Hey everyone, my name's Dylan. I'm a full-time private label Amazon FBA seller based in the United Kingdom. I run a 6-figure Amazon business which I set up from scratch in 2016. I currently also coach and mentor clients in the UK and elsewhere to build their own Amazon business, many of which are probably watching this now. I set up this account to document my journey and also to provide valuable content to people that are following and hopefully help them to grow their business as well. I've recently gone full-time. I quit my job last
we're going to
week.
catch that now. So I haven't got onto that part yet. So a little bit of a teaser, a bit of a spoiler there. So, my Instagram account launched. I started to help people through online sort of mentoring consultancy. So I did a lot of sort of phone work and Skype calls with people, getting their businesses set up at this point, which is what I mentioned there. Also, again, 2016 was when the company was set up, not actually when I first launched. So now this is an exciting part of my life. We got on to Christmas 2017, and again, this is all on my Instagram account. If you guys are on Instagram, you can go and have a look at these posts from sort of 2 years ago, year and a half ago. It just went berserk, right? Look at these figures. They're absolutely crazy. Sort of 2.5K in a day, £11,000 in revenue in 7 days, passively. Didn't touch a single product, didn't do a single thing, working 60, 65-hour weeks, just blew my mind at this point. And this is where really Amazon FBA was taking off at this point, and it still is now. It's still very premature. People are still sort of catching wind of its potential. And, I got in at a very early stage, and we can see here some of the results. I remember sort of being in school, and I would check my app on my phone, and I'd have generated like, I don't know, £600 profit by like 4 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, and it would just make me think, why the hell am I working this job? This job is although I find the teaching part rewarding, I'm forced to get out of bed in the morning. I've got people who are telling me what to do. I've got this other thing that's so great, that's going so great for me. What would happen if I solely went for that, right? What happens if I just focused on that? And this is where it started to excite me a little bit, the prospect of running my own private label business full time. So February 2018 was when I finally made the decision to quit my job. Again, it says in that video, you can see then from February 2018, I made the decision, I quit work. Now, would I recommend doing this? In hindsight, probably not. I made the decision because I was just doing crazy figures at the time, and I didn't want to work anymore. I didn't want to get up at 7 and work till 5 and do all this stuff. And I knew I could have an income from my business. My FBA business was generating ample amounts of revenue and profit for me to take a nice, comfortable wage. But there is a certain degree and element of risk if you are to quit your job and solely rely on Amazon. It's not all plain sailing with FBA. You can encounter hurdles. Products can be suspended if you make mistakes during the earlier stages and don't really know what you're doing. At this point, I did, but still, I wouldn't advise quitting work, especially if it was your first or second product. If you've diversified and you have spread your risk over numerous products, like I had at this stage, it does become a more sensible idea. But that's what I decided to do anyway. So I had 10 products live at this point on Amazon UK and Europe, and I was generating between 8 and 9K a month in profit, which was crazy, which you can see why I decided to stop work when I was on sort of £1,200, exchanging like 60 hours of my week for 1,200, whereas here I was making £2,000 a week. So yeah, let's have a look at that. So weekly, 1,200, that's £300 a month from a week. My brain is starting to fail. £300 a week profit from teaching was what I was taking home. With Amazon, I was taking home £2,000 a week, but only doing a few hours work, whereas with my teaching, I was doing 50 or 60. So is this typical? Who knows? I would say it's probably not typical for your average person, because your average person might not have the courage to launch. They might not have the courage to launch the next 3 products. So it isn't typical, but it is typical for someone who works extremely hard, someone like yourself potentially, who works super hard. They're focused, they're determined, they're adamant, they're tenacious, they are not willing to give up, and they scale. This is realistic. And anyone who sells at the moment, I'm sure would agree with me that it is. I am very passionate about it, and, I'm living proof that it's possible. So my YouTube channel launched in February 18. Again, you can see down from the bottom there, that video of how to sell on Amazon I've got like 30, which is madness, right? 30,000 views on that video, 545 likes, couple of haters, with the 24 likes over there, but we can cope with those people. Haters are going to hate, right? So YouTube channel launched, and this was the start of another journey for myself, right? Where I was sharing all of my knowledge and expertise at this point. I had a year's experience selling and really showing you guys what was possible. I wanted to inspire people, right? Because people go onto YouTube and they watch people. A lot of people you watch don't even sell on Amazon, and they still sort of teach people how to do it. I wanted to take all of the experience from 10 products. I was, a credible source of information at that point with the experience, and I wanted to just help you all with your businesses, and also to help encourage you to do it, to go for it, right? Have faith in yourself, take action, because if you don't take action, you don't follow your dreams, essentially, as cringy and cliche as it is, you're never going to get anywhere, and you're not going to fulfill those dreams. So throughout 2018, this is a screenshot from today, 6th of June at 10:03. So I took that screenshot about an hour and 10 minutes ago, and I generated 230k in revenue. The reason it only says 208 there is because that's all of my UK revenue. I sold in Spain, Germany, and Denmark as well, and France. So that accounted for about 22,000 euros roughly. So it's about 230k in a year. Now, again, you think to yourself, this is just berserk. Is it real? I mean, all I can say to you is that it is. Any of my OGs, any subscribers who follow me, you've seen me log into my accounts, refresh the page, type my passwords in. It's legitimate, and this is just crazy. Again, I can't stop saying it, but it is, almost £250,000 in sales, hardly touching anything, hardly touching a freaking thing, right? And doing almost £250,000 from my laptop and my phone. I did have to do work, right? Obviously, again, every product that you launch, you have to put a hell of a lot of groundwork in to get it to work, but the passivity kicks in once you've launched. And you do have to talk to suppliers and keep on top of your listings and ranking and all these different things. But ultimately, it's a fraction of what you do if you were working a full-time job, and you can work from home. Like today, I'm working from home, and it is a very pleasurable experience. So now, if we look here, and just to mention, now I bought my first home in 2018, and that's where I am currently at the moment. I traveled and worked I was lucky enough, and this isn't bragging or anything like that. I don't want it to come across like that at all. I'm just sharing with you what has happened, the facts. What have I been doing the last year, and what could you potentially be doing in 2019 or 2020? So I went to Bali, Amsterdam, Croatia, Venice, and Ireland, working from all of those locations. Obviously brought my laptop with me. I was working with students and also working on the business itself. Granted, it was probably minimal amounts of work whilst I was in some of those places, because they're so beautiful, it's hard to actually do any work. But luckily, you can, be flexible with your hours and what you do. So now, throughout this year as well, I also launched my Amazon FBA Elite Academy. And this was another sort of journey that I went on, a different path to my Amazon FBA journey, although they were very interlinked and related. But, during this stage, I wanted to basically, firstly, open people's eyes to this business model and inform as many people as possible of what was possible and what was happening at the moment with people who were selling private label on Amazon. I wanted to get the message out there, but I also wanted to teach people how to do it. Now, I was aware at this stage there were loads of sort of courses you could go to, weekend courses in London for like £3,000, where you just get given a PDF booklet, and you'd end up forgetting it all and going home and not doing anything, not taking any action. There was few people on YouTube at the time. There's a lot more now. There was a lot of good people on YouTube at the time and a lot of bad people on YouTube at the time. And I really wanted to bring a different level to this. So I wanted to step the game up and bring something forward to people, a multi-module online course and mentorship program from myself to help people start and successfully sell products private label on Amazon UK. So that's what I designed, and I will talk a bit about that at the end. I'm not going to harp on about it now, but I will, for anyone who's interested, you can wait till the end of some of the offers that I've got on at the moment and to hear a little bit more about it. So I, again, mentored hundreds of students. which I still am doing now at the moment, which is takes up a large proportion of my day and something that I'm extremely passionate about myself. And we've seen some incredible results, which again, I'll look at some case studies with you in a moment. Now, if we go back to this revenue figure, right? Revenue figures are they don't mean anything, right? You could basically have £1 million in product sales and have no profit. You could even have a loss from that amount. So, I have done my best to accurately calculate my margin. And this is the first time I've done this for the whole of the year of 2018, putting in a lot of effort to make sure it's as accurate as possible. But it's not the easiest thing to work out, right? Because I've got 10 different products. They're all priced differently on Amazon. I also buy them for different prices. Those prices also change over, different orders, prices change. You have different fees when you sell on Amazon, the fulfillment fee, referral fees, lots of different fees. And you've also got your ad spend with PPC. So I've done my best to average everything out. And it's actually a bit less than I thought it would be for that year. It was actually higher than this when I based it on the first 6 months of the year. But when I put it over the whole year, when we moved up to Christmas, it dropped down by about 4%. So my margin on this is 37.5%. That's my profit margin. So this figure of 208,000 and again, 230,000 even is BS. It doesn't mean anything. The real figure is that multiplied by 0.375. So, or 0.37.5. So if we have a look, it's not like that. Well, we can actually, no, we'll go like that. So that is £86,250 in profit over 2018, whilst working from home, working from all these locations and running everything from a laptop, passively from my phone. I could have, and this is hand on heart, I could have spent those 12 months in Bali and this would have been exactly the same figure. Now, that's not what everyone wants to do. I didn't do that. I like being home. I'm focusing on growing the businesses. So, I don't want to just go on holiday the whole time, but you do want to enjoy, obviously, the fruits of your labor. You want to be able to enjoy them. So that's what happened throughout my 2018. And let me just think if there's anything else I wanted to tell you guys. So, what we'll do now, we're going to jump in and we're going to have a look at what has actually happened to other people, right? So myself, it's easy for me to tell you my story and what's happened to me, but what have other people managed to succeed, other people managed to achieve and succeed with themselves. So we'll look at a case study now. Obviously, I've mentored a crazy amount of students, right? I've got a lot of students within my academy and my mentorship program, but here's just a little bit of a snippet to show you guys what's possible. So we'll have a look at this. So hi guys, just wanted to give you all an update of how I'm doing. And by the way, this is within our mastery group on Facebook. So if you type in Amazon FBA Elites Mastery Group, you'll see we have a course student group where everyone shares best practice and shares their results, etc. So this is a post from that group, which was only like a week ago or so. So hi guys, I wanted to give you all an update of how I'm doing. It's been about 4 weeks since I launched my first product. Big thanks to Dill Reed for the guidance and advice prior to during the launch. I've managed to get 18 5-star reviews, blah, 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 blah. So today my sales have increased from an average of 10 per day to 29 in 1 day. I'm not sure for the reason for this, but my BSI is suddenly very low, etc., etc. It's great news. I hope this would be some help. I hope this would help some of you believe that this is really possible. And if you have a great product, great photos, you differentiate and a good listing, the sky is the limit. 2K in sales in the first month of launching is insane, but it is possible. Now, this lovely gentleman has gone on now to do more than 3,000 in his first or in the last 30 days of selling. And the profit margin will be pushing around 30% once his PPC spend goes down. So if we look at that, compare it to myself and my first product, he's doing similar to me. Now, when he says, the sky is the limit, what he means by that is, what happens if he replicates this process with 5 other products? Suddenly, 3K in sales turns into 15K in sales, and profit turns from £1,000 to £5,000 a month, and that's life-changing amounts of money for this person. And like for me, the satisfaction I get from helping people like this, grow online businesses is unbelievable. I get so much happiness from it, gratification and satisfaction from helping people achieve what I have, because that was the whole point of why I started this academy, was for that reason. So, you know, if it wasn't working, I wouldn't be seeing results like this, and I'd have probably stopped a long time ago, to be honest, because if it wasn't working, then there would have been no point to continue. But again, student 2, we've also got a video on YouTube. If you guys want to go and have a look at Hannah's story, we can see there's the mastermind group. So if you want to go and look at her story, I interviewed her, but she has launched her first product. She is also doing nearer to £4,000 a month now with her first product, not this figure. These are 2 different figures from different points. We can see that was from March the 1st to 29th. That was from the 10th to the 10th of April. She's now doing 4K almost per month, and her margins again lie around 30%. So she's doing the same as my full-time income wage as a teacher, 1.2K in profit every month passively. You'll see from that interview, her goal is to grow the business and add more products to generate more income and passive income as well. Granted, this person has got a job. I'm not sure if Hannah actually is working at the moment, but I would say 99% of people who are on my within the course and academy have got jobs like I did. It's not something that you quit your job to start, or it's typically something that someone wants to do on the side, because you can do it as a side thing. So number 3, again, another student of mine, lovely gentleman, such a nice guy, and I've worked closely with him. He's on the course. He is a moderator within the group. He makes a lot of effort commenting on people's posts, giving people valuable information, and he's generating, like, let's see the figures here, like £11,370 a month on Amazon. This was in March. I don't know what he's doing now. It's probably more, because this dude's killing it. So passive income, right? It's the way forward. Why would you want to exchange your time for money when you can, do it this way? And again, just some more student results. I've got about 50 of these, but I didn't want to cram them all in to be like this size. So I just put these ones in. These are all student results over the last 12 months or 8 months, 6 months, ranging from 7K a month to 3 to 5 to 2 to 4 to 2K in 4 days. It's just bonkers. So that's what's going on at the moment. And I want to share with you guys the secret to being able to do this, or one of the secrets to being able to do this. And I'm going to move on to that in the next slide, actually one after next. But as a recognition, so throughout 2018, as a recognition sort of point for my students, I created the 10K Elites Club. Lots of people do have these clubs in America, in the UK. They signify success, right? They are an indication of the work, the hard work, the time that someone's put into their products and the success they're having. So this is an award that I have been giving to students who have surpassed or made their first £10,000 on Amazon. So this is my website. If you guys haven't been there, theamazonsuperseller.com. We can see here are some of my students who've posted within the academy who have generated £10,000 on Amazon. We've got Lucas, Fabian, Neelan's actually 40,000, Edward. I've got numerous other 10K Elite Awards which are with students at the moment, and more that are being sent out next week. So, again, just to show you guys, this is real. This is happening right now for people who put the work in and are willing to work super hard at this business model. So we'll go back to the presentation, which I've lost. So what is happening in 2019? Well, I am continuing to grow my FBA business. I'm launching 3 new products. I've actually been talking to my supplier today about these products. 3 new products, definitely, possibly 4 very, very soon. It just depends how quickly they can get production started, which will be launched in the next few months, ready for Christmas. I'm generating still 5 figures or more every month on Amazon UK. I am mentoring a tremendous amount of students every single day, working one-to-one with my students, spending sort of 4 hours a day during the morning throughout the mentorship program, looking at different product ideas, giving my feedback, advice, guidance. So 2019, I don't know what's in store, but all I know is the last 2 years of my life have been a whirlwind, and it wouldn't have started in the secret, right? And this is what I want to get across to you guys, and it's so important. The secret to all of this is taking action, right? Actually being able to, instead of sitting on the fence and watching lots of videos and thinking about starting something and talking to people about starting something and researching starting something, actually going for it, right? I could have wasted another 5 months, thinking about it, and I may not have even bothered to do it. But the power of taking action with something, actually backing yourself, having faith in your ability to do something and going for it will pay dividends, right? It is the secret. It's the secret that a lot of people don't know, and it's the downfall of a lot of people. The reason why people don't end up making a success of this is because they just can't find the encouragement to get started and begin their journey with Amazon FBA or whatever you're doing. If it's Facebook ads or drop shipping, whatever it is, I cannot emphasize enough how a single moment in your life, right, can be so influential on the rest of your life. Think about if you're with your wife now, you think to yourself, where did I meet them? I met them at a bar 15 years ago. That all stemmed from one single moment in time, a decision that day for you to think to yourself, well, I'm going to go out tonight, or I'm going to go to that bar for food tonight. Or maybe when you were there, the decision that you made to go and say hello to that person, right? That single moment defined the whole of your life. Let's say you're 10 years on in a relationship. Think of this as an analogy. It's defined everything, that single decision. And it's exactly the same with FBA. That single decision that I made to get started 2 years ago has defined the last 2 years and will continue to define probably the rest of my life. And it's just incredible that one single moment in time, one decision that you make can have such an influence on everything else that you do and the path that you go down. So that is what I want to encourage you guys, is to do your research. If you want to get training, get training. I encourage students to consider mentorship or a course. It's something that I didn't do, which meant that I didn't get the results that I should have soon enough, and it ended up costing me more. If you're not, make sure you do your research into the mentor, the person that you're looking into. Make sure they've got experience with multiple products selling on Amazon. Make sure they've been selling for at least a year or more. And yeah, just go for it, right? The message that I want to get across for this video. But yeah, it's been a crazy 2 years. I wanted to share it with you on sort of, the anniversary of the 2 years on YouTube, and just, a year of YouTube, 2 years of selling on Amazon. Just share with you guys what I've done and what's been possible for me. So I hope you found the video exciting, or took something from it. I know it was quite long, but I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And if you've got any questions, as always, you can email me at info@amazonsupremacy.com. Where you've got any queries or whatever you want to ask, I am there. So enjoy the video. Please do take action. Whatever it is that you're looking to do in life, just go for it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.